Now we're going to take a look at the manual sort options on a profile listing page. So here we have the profile listing page for the Media Resources Center again. And if we look at that in its backstage view, we're going to go over to properties. On the listing page video, I showed this. And it's right here, page sort, alphabetical, group, and manual. We've seen group and we've seen alphabetical displayed in that earlier video. We saved a manual sort back for its own video. Manual sort allows you to effectively custom build your own profile page with anyone you want on it in any order that you deem they should be in. So in this case, let's say that the Media Resources Center would like one more grouping, and that grouping would be MRC leadership. Okay, so it would be a group consisting of John's profile, Jay's profile, Ryan's profile, and so on and so forth. They're all going to exist in the same grouping. As we have pointed out before, we don't want to duplicate profiles. We want to use the already existing profiles. We only want one profile for each person in the system. If there's more than one over time, it can cause issues. So we're kind of needing to do something custom here in order to present these people twice on the page. So we could use a manual sort. Now, the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go into the directory and create a folder for this, a profile directory, so to speak. So I'm going to select new, and I want a new profile section. And we're going to call this, let's see, but we'll call it MRC Leadership. Section title, MRC Leadership. So now we're setting up the parameters, the early parameters of the listing page. Page title, leadership, like so. Description tags, keywords if you want them. Navigation item, yes. And it's good to go. So I'm going to create that. And here's the page. And I will go ahead and publish it once, just so it is in existence to work with, so to speak. Okay, if we look at the Media Resources Center grouping here, you might notice it doesn't show it. That's because there's no profiles in it. If there's a folder with no profiles in it, the folder will remain invisible until there are profiles in it. So that's a good thing. Right now, what we're going to do is we need to add profiles in here. So we know we're going to need to add these profiles into this group here that we've just created. If we look at content pages in it, we have no profiles. And we don't want to duplicate profiles, nor do we want to move their profiles in here. We want them to be pulled over information-wise onto the listing page, so to speak. So I'm going to select index. And you might notice I've kept a separate tab open for the Media Resources Center. That's going to be useful, and you'll see why here in a bit. When you're creating a custom profile thing from a number of pre-existing profiles, you'll find this sort of technique useful when we get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the page out, and I'm going to select properties. And I'm going to come down to page sort. I'm going to select manual sort. Okay. Then I'm going to save it. And in preview viewed, we see nothing in it. I'm going to go to edit. And see, we have a new button, edit manual sort. So if I select that, you see we actually now have a snippet in place that we can edit rather than just that template page. This is how we are going to build this page. So for heading, I'm going to put MRC Leadership. So, and that'll be the heading for the section top. We have 4 columns, people, custom title, custom text header, custom text. So this is where we will link our profiles. This is similar to the add profile to page function on a normal listing page. It's just a little more involved. So people, our first person we would have is, of course, John here. And I could go John Jones like this and link to him. So here's the directory, right? But there's also another way. For example, on this case, we've got John right here. I can right click and open his page separately. And if I have access to edit the page, I can simply go into Backstage View, open my gadgets, go to Page Info. In the Page Info, we've got the link that opens up a tab with the page live on the internet, but we also have the dependency code for this page. So I can grab that, copy, go back over here, drop that dependency code, click save. And that's a link. That's kind of a shortcut you can use if you know where all the people are or they have pre-existing profiles on one page. Simply open the page, go into edit, and copy paste the dependency code. It works very well. Custom title, optional. This would be John's title. So I can come over here. He's executive director. Copy that. And I might use paste as text. So no formatting carries over since it's going to format it in its own way. We've got a custom text header option if we want to use it. And we've got custom text. So if you have descriptive text of your position of some kind, a paragraph stating where you are, what you do, something like that, or about your project, you could totally put that there. So I'm going to click save on this. And you will see we have a position here for where his image will go. Again, we're kind of in a template mode and we're kind of not. The image is a template, of course. We have his name. We have his position. We've got the custom text header would be right here if we wanted it. And here we have the additional text that would be maybe describing his job. So that's what that looks like if you see it on screen. In case of what we're doing, I'm going to go back to edit. And I'm going to remove these two and just leave it to his name and position. Like so. Okay. So we've got John currently listed on the page. So we want to go on and continue through the other members of MRC leadership. I'm going to come down. Here's Jay. Open link a new tab. Open Jay over here. Here we go. And you'll note I'm just going to grab page info, grab the dependency code. Oops. And there we go. Faster. Insert edit link, drop the dependency code. Okay. And his position says he is manager. Okay, so we'll put that there. Short enough, I'll just type it. Next up is Ryan Kokorin. Open the page info. Copy, paste his dependency code. There we go. Custom title. What's this title here? Director Campus Media Services. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight that, copy it, come over here, select paste as text, drop that text here. And I think that there should be a designation separation here. I'm going to comma, director, comma, campus media services. Okay. So we've got more people down the list and we've run out of table to work with, so to speak. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, row, insert row after. And actually, let's take another look at Jay real quick before we move on. Has him as director, has him manager of academic accommodations and accessibility. So I'm going to come up here, copy that text, and I'm going to put the comma after J. Castor, paste his text as in place, drop that text. Okay, so we've inserted a row after Ryan. That's where Carolyn Spear will go. If memory serves here. Yep, there we go. She has quite a list of credentials here. So I'm just going to copy like so. Most time people have placed this in their title, in their name themselves. So they usually have it right. And I'm going to come here and paste that in there. Okay. And open her page separately. Go into Backstage. Find our dependency code. Copy it. Come back over here. And make it a link. Like so. And we want her position. In her case, she's the director of Office of Instructional Resources. So I'm going to grab Office of Instructional Resources. Come back over here, make sure paste as text is in place so it doesn't assign it a size it shouldn't have. I'm just going to drop that. And in the beginning, I'm going to put director, comma. Okay. Row, insert row after, like so. And we'll go down. We have Crystal here, Office Manager. Okay, so let's close out this one. We're going to open a new tab, Crystal. Again, check the page out. Well, you don't have to check it out, but you're going in the Backstage view, so to speak. You don't have to check these pages out to be able to get this information from the gadgets, which is a very useful thing. It saves you a step. And copy her dependency code. Go back. I believe that's the right spelling. Yes. Okay. Highlight her name. Drop our code. Look at her position, Office Manager. Okay. And maybe I could put, because it has operations as well, operations Office Manager. Like so. Row, insert row after. So. And our next person is Greg Matthias. Okay. And you're kind of picking up the pattern by now, I'm sure. Since I'm not sure if I'll be able to spell his name right once, so to speak, I'm going to make sure and have a look at it. I will copy his name from here. I'll come back over here, do paste as text, paste the name, come back over here, do page info, copy his dependency code over. Drop our dependency code. There we go. We need his title. So I look here. We've got Manager Video Services. Okay. I'll grab that. Row, insert row after again. Close up his page. And finally, we've got Web Services. We've got Mike Marlett. So I'll open Mike here. Go on to Backstage View. Get his dependency link. And come back over here. We have Mike Marlett. Highlight, insert edit link, drop the code, save, and his position is website manager. Okay, so this is the leadership of the MRC. I'm going to go ahead and click save. And you can see that it has populated. We've got all the info and the titles for the folks here. There is no margin, you might notice at first. This does not stay this way. When this page is published, it will automatically apply a margin to the page. So don't worry about that. And I'm going to go ahead and publish. Like so. Now we'll look at the page live. And here we go. And you can see that it has auto-applied everything that's on a normal profile view. Name, position, email address, and phone number, just like that. Now we can look here and we can see that while we've created this page, and it is in the Media Resources Center MRC Leadership folder, if we look at the Media Resources main page here, and I refresh it, our new leadership section actually does not show on this page. Why does it not show on this page? Because in all actuality, our MRC leadership does not have any actual profiles. So it automatically answers back to the logic that since there are no personal profiles in this page, it does not present, the information from this page as one of the groups over here. Could we do that? Yes, we could. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back into this page like so. And I'm going to select manual sort. And I want to point out again that this is a snippet, okay? Just like any other snippet in the system. I'm going to select the table basically anywhere, and I'm going to copy it, Control-C or Command-C if you're on Mac, like so. And I'm going to save. And I'm going to come out to the Media Resources Index right here and click on Main Content. Okay, so we have our snippet, and it is a landing page, so it may scrunch it. I'm going to open my snippets because I want a margin up here at the top. I'm going to select generic section and insert it. So we're going to be able to have a margin, a generic section snippet. If you put content in here on a landing page, it's going to apply a margin. Enter content, I'm going to paste our snippet like so, MRC leadership. So down here, we've got the rest of the normal profiles that take up the page. And up here in main content, we've dropped our automatic profile listing snippet. Click save. We see up here, we've got the custom stuff. Down here, we've got the regular stuff. I go and publish it. No errors. Added manual snippet. Leadership. Like so. Click publish. Let it do its thing. Open it into a window. And we can see now that at the top here, we've got MRC leadership with those profiles. And down here, we have our normal itemized departments and teams. So manual listing can be a very powerful tool for you because it can allow you to custom build profiles in the way you want. For example, there are a lot of teams that like to have their dean or their manager, their team leader, to always be the upper left profile, but they want all the rest in alphabetical order. This is a great way to be able to give you that sort of customizable order. You could always, in the snippet, you would place the manager here, like I've done with John Jones, head of the MRCs, right here. And you can place everyone else in the order you wanted them to be in. If you wanted it alphabetical, you could totally say take Crystal with a D, Dilbag, and move her under Ryan Kokorin, where she would go. So I'll just click here and on the row that Crystal's in, and row, copy row, row, delete row. Come up to Ryan Kokorin, just click on his row, right click, row, paste row after, like so. To continue the alphabetization of everyone else, Carolyn Spear is after Mike and Greg here. Actually, Mike should be above Greg as well. So I'm going to take Carolyn, click on a row, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go down, click on Mike's row, and I'm going to paste row after. So Carolyn's there. Mike needs to move above Greg. So I'll right click on Mike, do the same thing with copy and delete. Go to Greg. I can just do it on Greg because I can right click row, paste row before. Okay. So we've got John, who is the director. So he gets the upper left slot always. If we do alphabetical order, we've got Caster, CA, Kokorin, there's D, MAR, QRST, and then we've got Carolyn here at the end. Save, publish, place leadership in alphabetical order. And here we go. All of our leadership is now in alphabetical order. And so sometimes we may have in a situation where we have to add an employee to a group, or we want to add an employee to a custom profile group like this that doesn't actually have a profile as of yet. Maybe they're a new employee and they haven't had time to do it yet. Maybe they just haven't gotten around to making the profile yet, or nobody's been assigned to make the profile yet, but we want to add them to the section. We can totally do that. What I'm going to do here is go back over to our backstage view. I'm going to click main content. And let's say it's Dr. John Smith from the other day. Smith would come before Spear and after Matthias. So I'm going to left click on Greg Matthias, right click, row, insert row after. So now we've got another blank row. And I can put Dr. John Smith, resident theoretical physics expert. Like so. And all I've done here is I've added the name and I've given him a title. I'm going to save. And you'll see here that there is a space that's been made, and it's in the right order because I put it in the table in the right spot. And if I publish the page, go ahead and publish. Dr. Smith does now have a spot in the entirety. There's no image because, of course, there's no profile, so no image has been supplied. And there is a link here to Dr. John Smith. It just leads back to the Media Resources Center leadership team as a whole, same with the image. But there is a place there for Dr. Smith, noting that he's in the team. And whenever the time comes, Dr. Smith can come in and create a profile, just like any of the others. Just off of here, insert edit link, and save and publish, and that profile will join the rest.